I really don't think that anyone understands how cooked the United States of America is right now.
No,
I
what
don't
is
know
he
where
talking
we
about?
have this false narrative that we're like the greatest country in the world, because we are definitely not, guys.
Bro, why is everything so overpriced, bro?
We can all probably
Man, we got a lot of hot takes
easily
going on
agree on the fact that the
early.
American dream as it was sold to us is dead.
Like what, your dream is to work until you are 65 and decrepit and not be able to make ends meet the entire time?
Why is my sandwich from Subway $15?
People don't even realize anymore. It's not even the cost of living no more. It's the cost of surviving.
If you still think there's a such thing as an American dream, you get a rude awakening.
Bro, this is how you know this economy is cooked, bro. This is how you know this economy is cooked.
I have come to realize that New York is not a place to raise a family.
Alright, your total should come to about $911,666,420.69.
Alright, bro's chatting now.
Wow, what a steal!
From out of Rachel Night.
Alright, let's see. I mean, this is a hot topic, but it's true. You got a lot of, everything's going up. They're charging more for things. You're getting less, so it's a lot going on. It's crazy.
$15. You guys know I don't eat fast food a lot. You get it? My girlfriend cooks for me at my house for a reason. Look at this receipt. Look at this. That shit. Two footlongs for $30. What happened to $5 footlong? $5.
Nah, that's tough.
Footlong.
Come on.
The economy's cooked.
Yeah, that inflation
Later,
is
chat.
crazy. I
GGs.
can't lie.
People don't even realize anymore. It's not even the cost of living no more. It's the cost of surviving. You like that I don't think a lot of people are realizing this. There is no middle class. Boom, there's your bubble. I'm telling you now, the people who have it and the people who don't are so far apart from each other, it's not even funny. There is no reason somebody should be going bankrupt buying necessities to life. Like, why am I struggling to buy the bare minimum of stuff? I'm not trying to be fancy. I'm not trying to do none of that. I'm just trying to make it by. I'm still struggling. People don't even realize. Let me slow down before I freaking blow a brain gasket, whatever the case may be. People don't even realize, and it's not even about race no more. Everybody is feeling this. I don't care if you red, grape, blue, white, yellow, orange, I don't care. The only color that these elite people care about is that green, that money. And if you don't have it,
I really don't think that anyone
Sheesh.
understands how cooked the United States of America is right now.
The only good thing that happened this week is TikTok not getting banned, but the stock market looks like a Wall Street bet user's portfolio. Yeah, the protesting was expected, but if it is going to get worse and the prices haven't even adjusted yet, what future are we waiting for?
Learned that America is
All right,
a
I
third
mean,
world country.
we all know that the stock market did rebound off of, it crashing and all that. But a lot of them are saying truthful things, right? They even say the middle class is kind of shrinking, right? And there's people that have it and people that don't. And unfortunately, yeah, you have a lot of people that can't even afford, those basic necessities because things are getting so crazy. So, and I can only imagine what it's going to be like in a couple years from now as time continues to go on. Like, if that keeps happening, I mean, are you just going to have even more, people that can't afford their daily necessities? Like, what's going to happen? But who knows?
Country, because of the rest of the world is so far in front of us in just about everything that I don't know where we have this false narrative that we're like the greatest country in the world, because we are definitely not, guys. Yeah, I'm sad to go back. There are so many countries out there that are leaps and bounds in front of us in technology, society, everything. We should probably start spending a lot more money on building our country rather than trying to save everybody else, because we're not that great, guys. I can tell you firsthand, we are not doing great. But yeah, unfortunately, that's all I got to say about that topic for now. But yeah, I think anybody that's, flown to any other major city in the world can kind of speak to that as well.
I mean, it depends what you value at the end of the day, right? Because if it's from a health perspective, right, a lot of times other places, health-wise, they just have better lifestyles overall in terms of health, being around people. But then other times you look at the financial opportunity, especially in the States, and you know there's a lot of other places that cannot beat that upside and that opportunity. So it really depends what you value at the end of the day. But I mean, what he's saying, for his situation, it seems like he was liking what was outside of the US, which, I mean, I think it's more and more often that you see people's dream is to use that US dollar, but then go somewhere else and let it, you know, basically your buying power is way higher. So it's crazy.
Hello, sir. I would like to buy just this one banana, please. Alright, sir. Give me 1 minute. Alright, your total should come to about $911,666,420.69. Wow, what a steal! I know, right? Alright, well, I guess I won't be buying a banana here, not like I was hungry anyway. Thanks regardless, bye. You're welcome, sir. Bye. Thanks a lot, Trump.
Oh, bro, this is how you know this economy is cooked, bro. This is how you know this economy is cooked. I was out shopping, bro. I went to buy some bananas. Guess how much did the banana cost me, bro? Take a guess how much did those bananas cost me, bro? Take a guess how much those bananas. I bought 3 bananas. 1, 2, and 3.
3 bags.
Just 3 bananas. Just 3 bananas, bro. Bro, this is crazy, bro. I used to be able to get those 3 bananas for like $3 or even less.
Banana is like less than a cent. I don't know how many he has.
Those bananas for $3 or less. Literally. 3 bananas. They cost me $8.07 for 3 bananas. $8.07? Are you crazy, bro? 3 bananas, bro. $8.07, bro.
I think there's multiple in each bag,
crazy,
though.
Bro, how are we supposed to afford our bills in this rate, bro? This is wild, bro. Like, 3 bananas, bro. That's it. Like, I don't know who's gonna label me with this, but like, this was 3 bananas.
I'm sorry, but
Nah,
the American dream never
I feel like he's chatting, though. I mean, if it's 3 bags and there's maybe 4 in each bag, I mean, that math is okay. So
your dream is to
I could be
work
wrong.
until you are 65 and decrepit and not be able to make ends meet the entire time. Like, I'm sorry, but that just does not sound remotely appealing to me. It's not even about the dream anymore. Like, people are literally just trying to afford living in America. And here's the thing. If you are working for America, you will never be able to live your dream life in America. Like, and I know that most of you are probably already scrolled by now because you don't think it's possible to live in America without working for America. I was a server at the beginning of 2023. I quit my serving job. I started affiliate and digital marketing in April of 2023 and have now made almost $300,000 working online, and none of that came from my serving job. So if you are genuinely interested in working for yourself, starting an online business, check out the roadmap. It's at the top of my page. It literally shows you everything that you need to know to make money online, to start digital marketing. But I promise your dreams are so much more achievable than you think they are, but you're probably not going to reach very many of them by living that American dream life.
A lot of y'all don't have
now, anytime someone's promoting something, I mean, you got to take what they say with a grain of salt, because she's basically saying she couldn't afford anything, and now she just ended up working online. But I will say, right, working online, obviously working online and making a ton of money, but I will say working online for sure can help broaden pretty much the types of jobs you can do, right? Because it's less about you having to fit into a certain mold of types of jobs, and you have a lot of different opportunities that you could work for, do your own business, all of that, and the barrier to entry is way lower than what it used to be. But I still don't know if I believe everything she was saying, but I mean, has a point.
Empathy. I've been seeing a lot of people who have student loans on here crying because their credit have dropped 100 points, 170 points, 90 points. People on here crying, and there's these a-holes in the comments talking about something. You knew what you was doing. You was getting credit. You meant not credit, but student loans. You knew this and that, this and that. You wasn't crying. You was getting these loans. Y'all be forgetting that life happens. Like, I don't know what social media done to y'all, but y'all are so insensitive to shit. My credit has been dinged like 13 times. Am I going to come on here and cry to y'all? Hell no. But I already called these people 13, 14 times, y'all. I went to school for kinesiology and I have my nursing degree. Life don't always play out how you want it to, okay? And I ain't been paying my, I have to call these people, and I done got on a payment plan. I got all this, like, y'all so insensitive. Y'all so quick to hop on somebody's comments and tear somebody down just because it ain't you. Just know it's gonna always be you next. But watch how y'all talking to people.
The economy is bad.
I mean, she has a good point too. You got to be, because you never know what types of situation people are in. Now, of course, Ideally, you want people to make smart financial positions because it will hurt you in the long run if you don't. But for sure, everyone has a unique situation.
3 times the rent, $2,000 rent. Food is high. Like, the groceries is maxed. Gas going up and down. Like, come on, bro. They talking about segregation coming back. Coming back for who? You can get these hands. And people can't get hired at McDonald's. Like what happened to the glory days? Like, back then, they'd get a house for a penny. To get a house now, you gotta have $1 million. You gotta be very sophisticated. You gotta be high class. Being a kid was the shit. Now, being an adult around this time, it's like, dang, why are we getting attacked like this?
Hey, everyone. I have a question. I want to know y'all's opinion. When you leave the house, does it automatically cost you $100, $200, $300, $400? Like, if you leave your house, it costs so much money these days. Makes no sense. I went to Walmart, spent $300 and, let me see, $359.26. I'm at the gas pumps now. Probably be another 40 or 50. So what's that, about 400? Then a lady called me. I've been looking for a storage, like a bench to go in front of my bed. And she said they got one in today if I wanted it. Went by there and spent another 100. So I should have just stayed home. It seems like if you leave the house these days, it costs. Like, everything is $100, $200, $300. Do y'all feel the same way? Like the other day, my son's fixing to graduate. My daughter that's married and grown out the house, she had told my son, stay home long as you can. It costs to breathe. I believe it. Look, I'm loaded down, y'all. This is insane. So I want to know how y'all feel about it. Does it cost y'all like me when you leave the house?
All right, so look.
In the attitude of almost everyone that has been talking about this situation, cost of living, finding jobs and all that, it's almost all been negative, right? And I feel like there are two sides of the coin, because you're going to have people that are going to complain about any situation they're in, and then you're going to have other people that are going to actually do something about it. Now, sure, you can complain and be doing something about it. I'm sure a lot of people are, but low-key, man, you see the attitude of a lot of people, and it's just negative, right? It's negative. And sometimes people kind of look for handouts instead of actually taking the actions to get them in the right spot. But at the end of the day, it's their responsibility to try to figure out their situation, right? Everyone's cards are different, and you got to play with the cards that you're dealt. But man, once you do step out, I got to agree with that. You're going to spend plenty of money once you just a foot out the door, especially as an adult. Man, you're spending for sure.
Everything started getting worse in America. I started noticing this trend, this theme of we're all in this together. But are we? Are we really in this together? That's what I can't help but think. It just seems really suspicious that it takes the banking system to collapse. It takes the economy to fall. It takes discovering that your president ain't shit. It takes realizing that all the things you worked hard for are just taken away by the greed and the collateral damage of capitalism, you know what I mean? It takes you losing your retirement fund. It takes you losing your job. It takes you feeling like you have nothing else to live for anymore in this country for you to finally get online and in the world and try to interact with people and start talking about, we're all in this together. You can't see how that seems suspicious. You can't see how, to people who've been down for a long time, hearing that, it sounds like bullshit. And it's just like, bruh, stuff that you're going through right now, we've been going through for a long time. And where your ass was at then, you know what I mean? Where your ass was at when we needed a helping hand. But now that your stocks fell and you lost your 401k, now we're all in this together. Yes, I get the concept of we're all humans. We all live on the same planet, which is very true. We do occupy the same spaces, and we do have to live together and function in a positive way in order for us to have a life here on this planet. I get that part. But I'm saying is, you cannot expect black people to be overwhelmingly excited and enthusiastic or just run into the streets to be all in this together when we've been in this alone for a long time. So, I don't know, bro. I don't know. It just seems real suspicious. It seems real suspicious.
Bro, why is everything so overpriced, bro? Tell me why I'm like, I go to Jimmy John's the other day because, you know, they got the new They got the new toasted sandwiches. You know I gotta get down. Like, yo, where's my money going, dog? Like, I'm losing money, bro. And I'm not even like, I should be more tuned in with what's going on because, bro, we is getting finessed. Boy, we getting finessed, bro. Like, I shouldn't be having to pay $20 for half of a sandwich. So how much am I paying for a full sandwich? You feel me? Like, dang, bro, we getting finessed, bro. I'm cheap.
I've never been to Jimmy John's, but I can't lie. $20 for half? 20 for half? That's insane. Man, they got to take the sandwich back after that because I'm going to have to go make it at home. Because that sounds way too expensive, man. And for sure, of course, you know, a lot of these places are going to increase their prices with cost of living and inflation and match wages and all that stuff. But that just doesn't even seem worth it to me. Like, at that point, I mean, I get it. You customized everything, but I've never even been to that spot. But this sounds kind of crazy.
And then the TikTok video that I made about, I think America is a concentration camp. I made that video because when you think about it, bro, there's so many people that live out here in America, and there's so many people that work jobs, and we make just enough just to scrape by, and it's crazy. And don't mind this stain. I'm gonna clean this. I'm gonna clean my jacket. But it's really crazy to me because you feel like there's like a quote unquote like a slave master that's, you know, telling you what to do at X, Y, and Z, and then they know like you need this money, so you need to do what I say. Like, man, like this is bro, this is crazy. Yeah. For entrepreneurship is the way. Or entrepreneurship is the way.
I just bought.
I mean, it's an interesting take. Now, you know, people always say the grass is greener on the other side, which it's not always, right? There are things even in entrepreneurship that are going to be difficult. They say in general you work even more hours in entrepreneurship. But then for sure, I get where he's coming from. You could have a situation where, you know, you have managers or people at work that really don't treat you right, and they know that you need this job. Now, a lot of times, I mean, they do say some, you know, problems with money are spending issues and not so much how much someone is making. But at the end of the day, man, both sides of the coin could have their negatives and positives.
Watermelon for $9, guys. $9 for a freaking watermelon. And this watermelon is not a fancy watermelon, okay? It's not from Whole Foods. It's not organic. It's an Albertsons watermelon for $9. Last year they were like $5, and even then I was like, $5 for a watermelon? God damn, that's expensive. But $9, $9.99, not even $9, almost $10 for a watermelon is insane. Like, I don't know how I'm going to continue to be able to feed my kids with the way things are going. Like, everything is just rising expeditiously, and I'm nervous. You should be nervous. $10 for a watermelon? I didn't eat the watermelon, but are we really at that place where we're having to sacrifice fruits and vegetables to feed our kids? Like, that's insanity. This is crazy. $10 for a watermelon? That watermelon better be freaking good when I cut it, or else I'm gonna be pissed.
The crazy thing is too, she's spot on, because I got this bowl right here. I just had some watermelon in here that I ate earlier. And they do go, for some places, man, some of these grocery stores, they do charge around $10, which is crazy. Like, it's crazy how, you know, the prices just keep jumping up and up, but then sometimes the income does not go up the same amount. So all I'm saying is, man, hopefully, you know, things don't keep trending in that right direction, but she's spot on with it, man. I love the watermelon.
So we can all probably easily agree on the fact that the American dream as it was sold to us is dead. And the reason why I say that is my idea of the American dream is to be able to afford things on an average salary with one income in the household, and be able to save money while you're paying for everything else, to be able to retire at an age that's reasonable so you can enjoy the rest of your life without having to, work 40 hours a week when you're over 60 years old. I think that's ridiculous. Now, what we're seeing is there's dual income houses, right? Most houses now have both spouses working, and the retirement age just keeps going up, and savings aren't going up. The amount of money that people are saving is not increasing. The amount that you have to spend to live has increased so much. In 1980, you could buy a house for $50,000. Now the average home price is over $400,000. And that is insane to me, because the wages have not increased with the cost increase. So the American dream now is you work, your partner works, and you retire over the age of 70. Great dream. Live the dream.
Man, that's a lot to unpack. I know from personal experience, man, I've always known, like, man, you gotta work harder. You gotta work harder. You gotta try to find a way. And I enjoy doing a lot of that stuff, where some people, trying to figure out different ways to make money, this and that. Some people just don't enjoy doing that. But what this person is saying is true, right? Just not having enough money is just, it puts you into a mindset where you can't even operate, as you would if you did have those kind of needs fulfilled. So it completely shifts your mindset. It's like, man, I'm in fight or flight almost. I have to make things happen. You're under constant stress and all that. So it changes how you operate for sure.
If you still think there's such thing as an American dream, you get a rude awakening. I just went to Kroger to buy some eggs. They were literally $8 for a dozen of eggs. And if you think I'm lying, these eggs are literally $8, and them eggs is $12. If you think you better get a job, have kids, marry somebody, and buy a house, that ain't happening no more, bro. You're gonna have to get some type of side hustle or some type of second way of making money, bro. And you can't put all your eggs in one basket at a job, because if you get fired, what are you gonna do? You have no other options. This is the main reason why I decided to be an entrepreneur, because I know, like, working a job is not for me. And I'm not saying you gotta be an entrepreneur, but you need to find some type of side hustle or something to, do outside of your job.
I think a lot of people would say that my life story is the embodiment of the American dream. I was born to a single mom. We were poor for most of my childhood, faced a lot of hardship, a lot of adversity. We were homeless at times. Eventually, towards the end of high school, her substance abuse, her mental health took a decline. I started living on my own at 17. We were estranged, yada, yada, yada. I worked really hard my whole life, did well in school, got almost a full ride to BC, graduated right out of school. I had a 6-figure job. I would say I'm pretty successful now. So you might think I would sit here and say, if I can do it, anyone can do it. Work hard. The American dream is real. Hell no, it's not. It's not real. And part of it's real, but it is built on so much privilege and luck. And no one ever talks about that part. And I have so many stories I can share about how I made it by the skin of my teeth. And to this day, I'm still fighting so hard, because it's hard to support yourself fully on your own and have no family as a backup. And all those stories are in the book that I'm writing, and hopefully we'll have out one day. But today I thought I would focus on the stars that aligned and the luck I had that allowed me to be successful, because people always say, like, why can't this person just work harder, blah, blah, blah. There's so many things that get in the way, and there's so many things in areas where I lucked out that allowed me to, like, achieve the American dream. And I wanted to address those and why other people aren't in the same position I'm in or other successful people are. Because yes, there are a lot of people that are born into poor families and make it out and are rich and are wealthy, but there's way more people that are born into the same fate, work as hard or even harder, and don't get the same results. So my number one privilege, education. So first of all, I was born and raised Massachusetts. Best education in the country. I couldn't afford to go to a private school, obviously, so I went to public schools. I also happened to luck out and that I went to Grafton Public Schools and Tantasco Public Schools, which are both really good school systems. They had AP classes, they had honors classes, National Honor Society, college prep. If I had gotten to a school where the education wasn't as good, there weren't as many class offerings, they didn't help me apply to college, who knows where I'd be. And not only the school systems, like my mom, She fell off a little bit towards the end of my childhood, but she was a great mom when I was younger. And she read to me every night, and she taught me how to do math, and she told me, like, you will go to college no matter what. She was the first in her family to go to college. She didn't even graduate. I'm a first generation college graduate. And that's because of my mom. And some people don't have parents that tell them that or sit down with them and teach them how to do things. And side note, reading is supposed to be taught by parents, not by teachers. So anyways, I lucked out in the education department. Number 2, I'm an only child. And you might be thinking, like, why does that matter? But I didn't have any younger siblings to support or parents to support. So to back that up a little bit, I'm an only child. I always think about how when I was 5 years old, my mom had just married my stepdad and asked me, do you want a younger sibling? I don't know if she listened to me specifically, but I said no. And I'm like, thank God, because imagine if when I was supporting myself on my own, putting myself through college, working all these shifts at a restaurant, whatever, if I also had a sibling who was 6 years younger than me, who my mom couldn't take care of, I would have felt the burden to take care of them. And I know so many people who are the oldest child or have younger siblings and don't go to college so they can stay in their hometown and work and support their younger siblings. I was so lucky not to have that. And also with my mom, like, I supported us for a while, and then when I was 17, I was like, I'm out. I'm living on my own. I'm done supporting you. I gave her some money here and there. And this, like, I'm not proud of this. This eats me up. Sometimes I think I should have supported her more. It's a very complicated situation, but, like, I wasn't supporting my mom at the end of the day. Some people have to support their parents or help their parents pay the bills. So I was very privileged in that I was only supporting myself. Lastly, I'm white. And maybe you're thinking, like, oh, the race card, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not even gonna dive into the whole, like, systemic racism and how I benefited from that. I'm just gonna talk about how I was doing some shady stuff. Mainly it was because I was poor and I was fighting for my life. But for example, I got pulled over for driving without insurance. I got pulled over for driving with a suspended license. I got pulled over after buying weed in a Cumbies parking lot. And I didn't really get in trouble for any of it. And I think a large part of that is, like, look at me, like, innocent, white, redhead girl. I got away with murder. And who's to say, like, maybe if I was black, if I was a person of color, maybe everything would be the same. I doubt it would be. And I know that in high school, when I was on welfare, when I was homeless, people audibly would make comments to me like, oh, look at that, like, poor girl on food stamps, whatever, because they, like, dressed worse than me, because they were a person of color, whatever. So I benefited infinitely from that. And the list goes on and on and on. I could talk about how I'm not disabled, how I'm not undocumented, whatever. My point is that the American dream, it's real for some people. Hard work can get you places, but only to a certain extent. And this country is systemically built for the rich to benefit, for the white to benefit, for a certain class of people to benefit. And I think we've lost sight of the true American dream of everyone being equal, everyone having opportunity, and not just a select few.
So
I gotta give it to her, man. She acknowledged a lot that was going on. For sure, people that are in certain situations, man, their percentage of reaching that, American dream or that certain point is way higher than other people who may just, not have the education or the types of access to information or the opportunities that other people do. So I think she was spot on with what she was saying. It's true. I mean, some people are probably going to get to that point, and a lot of people are not going to get to that point. People are dealt different cards at the end of the day, and you have to deal with what you have. But man, she was talking about facts.
I have come to realize that New York is not a place to raise a family. And I'm saying this because, this morning, as I'm getting up to get ready for work, my wife asked me if I could feed our son before I go. Normally, if I'm working, she takes overnight, and I wake up and I go about the day. But this morning she asked me, so I asked her, you know what, I'm gonna warm his bottle, jump in the shower real quick and come back. And he was a little bit more fussier than usual this morning, and I took him to the living area. I fed him a little bit. He was still fussy. I couldn't, I swaddled him. He's still fussy, and he didn't take all his feed, but I continued to, try and calm him down. But again, I'm getting ready for work, and time is going, and I just go to the front door and I opened the door, and this child immediately stopped crying, as if he was saying, all right, Dad, I know you have to go. All right? And he stopped crying, and I fed him the rest of his bottle. He drank it. I brought him to Mom. He laid in bed, and I ran out the house. And it just broke me that I had to leave my 3-week-old to go to work. Why is it like this? And like, the system is set up in a way where you have to always be working, have to always be making sure that you have a certain amount of money coming in because you have expenses, right? So, you know, I got over that. I hopped in the car and I started driving. And then another thing occurred to me. There is no type. So, you know, you already can't, you know, be with your family because you have to work so much. The times that you do get to spend with your family, it's like you can't spend it at home because there is literally no yard space. This morning I was driving, there's no backyard, there's no front yard. I'm just passing like this entire stretch. And in the US alone, there is an issue with obesity, and the age at which people are getting type 2 diabetes is getting younger and younger. And the person who made the blueprint for New York, they knew exactly what they were doing. They said, you know, whoever lives here, they're gonna work until they retire. And even if they stop working after they retire, well, they can't even stop working because all of the expenses won't be covered with the retirement money. And it's just so sad. Like, I can't have a peace of mind knowing that I'm able to spend quality time with my family and not be able to worry about work. I have to always worry about work. I have to always make sure that you know, there's food on the table, there's shelter here. And it's just so sad. It's really just so sad. And, you know, people talk about the American dream. This is not the American dream. This is not the American dream. You have to work so hard. And for what? You know, you work all these years and you stress yourself out. And before you know it, you get very ill that you can't even enjoy all of what you were working with. And, you know, it's just heartbreaking to know now. Like, I've been seeing it, and it's like it was normalized to me. But now that I have a son, and, you know, just like this morning where I saw that I had to just get up and run out the house as if I'm kind of like rushing him to like hurry up and eat so that I can go to work. And of course, Mom is doing a fantastic job, but the reality is it's tiring. It's tiring. So if she needs a break, of course I can give her a break, but to know that I have to now think about if I'm gonna be late for work, or I'm gonna say no, I'm not feeding him, and go to work and be early. It's really heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking. Luckily enough, it's like he realized that, look, okay, Dad has to go. Let me just be quiet, drink the bottle, and you know, and just relax. But that's just all I have to say. The American dream is not the American dream. And New York City, and I'm sure there's other places in the US, but I don't live in all the states. But I can only speak on New York, and this is not it. This is not it at all.
And that's...
Man, and what he said there, it's like in the States you have a lot of financially, right? You might be making more money than a lot of people, but you lack the time, right? And that's the biggest difference. You're quote unquote rich in finances but poor in time. Other places, they may be rich in time but poor in finances. So, man, that one's crazy, man. But click this video on the screen if you like these types of videos. You won't want to miss it.